As the LMDs infiltrate S.H.I.E.L.D. HQ, the remaining agents find it difficult to tell who they can trust. And apparently, the age-old adage is true. You always hurt the ones you love. Or, in this case, it's stab, slice, explode. We're wrapping up the LMD storyline on this week's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 15, Self-Control. Hey everyone, D here, and welcome to this week's review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, spoilers ahead, tons of spoilers, your final warning. Alright, man, what a good episode. Seriously, I think one of the best of this season, and this season has been full with a lot of really good episodes. The pacing, the energy, the storytelling. Really haven't seen something like this since the end of season 1. It's just sort of a compact, taking everything we have and smushing it into a wonderful little package and then exploding the possibilities afterward. Just really, really excited by this week's episode. And one of the main things that we are dealing with through this episode, of course, the LMDs in S.H.I.E.L.D. HQ, is the question of identity. It comes up over and over again when you have LMDs and humans. Who is, of course, the big question. And it really starts off, I think, when we have that moment between Fitz and Simmons, when there's discovery that one of them is the LMD. And it was so heart-wrenching. You could really just see those emotions and conflicts, and I thought it was beautifully played well out by both Elizabeth Henstridge and Ian DeCastecker, really just pulling out all of the stops when Fitz was basically blaming himself, and quite appropriately so, that he had created this, that he was responsible ultimately no matter what happened. As he's freaking out, as Gemma's aiming the gun and he's pulling all away. I mean, it was just, we were buying it. I was buying it that he was human, and not even necessarily that Gemma was, but there was also that question in there was kind of like how May was set up. Do they know that they're actually LMDs? Now, Coulson does, Mac knows, Mace knows, they all know. So of course, which one of them was the LMD does know, Fitz. But those questions I think was really brought up. How can you tell? And if they cut themselves and then don't ask you to look, that's sort of how you tell. That was the little hint. She got too close. Always too close. But that played then perfectly into the scene with Daisy and Gemma, where they're basically falling apart. Each one is certain that they are human, but isn't sure of the other one. And in fact, it could even be said that their certainty about being human was called into question. That when Gemma was just like, I'm me, I think. It reminded me a lot about the conflicts entered into the old John Carpenter film, The Thing, from back in 1981. Wonderful film. Kurt Russell, just an amazing psychological adventure. Deals a lot with these questions of identity. But it's the same type of question when they're looking for the thing. How do you know which one is a person and who's the thing? Really just brought up a lot of those memories. And I thought all of those were just handled really well. Just asking the questions. How do you know who you are? And Radcliffe and Ada kind of dwell into that a little bit, where Radcliffe is mentioning that it's, your identity is just as you are. It's above what the body is. Even Fitz reflects that back to Gemma, is your identity isn't in your body, it's in your mind. And so that's becomes the question of who is who and who isn't. What is the real actual you and what is a modified you, which is sort of what May and Coulson run into sort of at the end right there. And in fact, both their scenes when May gets woken up and those final little discussion with Coulson there just outside of the hangar, where May doesn't know or didn't know that she was an LMD versus Coulson, who knows what he is. And you can see where those differences become all important, because of course what ends up saving the team is the fact that May still has a connection to her humanity, because she still thinks like May, that she still reflects the fact that she's a human. Getting the Darkhold was a subtle programming, otherwise she is May. And it's that humanity that ends up saving the team and making the ultimate difference right there with everyone, is because that is, as she mentions, the pain, the regrets, those emotions, those dark sides is what gives us our humanity. You cannot have the highs without the lows. You cannot have a wonderful life unless you have certain regrets. It is that difference that makes us humans. It gives us our wisdom and ultimately, again, our humanity. And that's why we're willing to sacrifice ourselves for a greater good, which is what May ends up doing at the end. And like I said in the opening, all of those scenes are quite reflective of always hurting the one you love. We have Gemma stabbing Fitz in the neck, or the repeated stabs to the chest, and that's horrible. I mean, that imagery right there where he's like, no, stop, and then right into robot mode, and then, no, please. I mean, it was just, that's so creepy. See how that would just throw Gemma off. And then we have Ada taking out Radcliffe finally. And there's a typical one, the mad scientist is killed by his own creation. Body was killed, mind was put into... If she was going to put him in the machine, why not? Why kill him? Why just knock him out and just have him in there personally? Why would you have to kill him? Anyway, but not important. This is what's going to happen. As we find at the end, Ada wants to be human. Little Pinocchio wants to be a real girl. And she sees the difficulties of having Radcliffe around in order to do it. But Radcliffe's going to be happy. He's going to be in with original Ada in the framework, enjoying their lives, both dead but alive in the framework. It seems kind of appropriate. And then, of course, we have May taking out Coulson and their little love affair that was really realized. And in fact, it was kind of interesting of seeing how the LMDs are revealing the secrets. LMD Fitz revealing to Gemma that he wants to get married and grow old with them. This is the only time where really May and Coulson have had a chance to sort of, deal with their relationship and their attraction. So kind of interesting how also the LMDs are revealing all of the secrets that their real people have been holding inside. All right, we're going to get to the end, but first let me just cover over a couple of quick little bits. One, skill saw, not a piece of medical equipment. Not. Daisy's whole subterfuge with Mac there with the room of multiple quakes. That was creepy. I was really trying to figure out what her motivation was there to undress and join the group, which I think would obviously be to hide, but by leaving her clothes there, she is announcing that the actual quake was there. And she didn't kill LMD Quake, or she didn't kill LMD Mac. She just talked about and then ran out. So why not just hide out the door? Even if you leave your clothes there, hide outside the door, let them suck her in, and then close it behind them. I don't know. There was a coolness to that scene, but also a little bit of unnecessariness. Good to know that LMD Mace actually knows how to fight. All right, so there were some excellent fights in this. The Mace Quake fight was awesome, and then of course when Matt came in, but it's in that fight where we had the coolest scene, the Quake Ball, I guess we'll call it. I don't know what you want to call it, but it was freaking awesome. If you're going to spend money on effects, this is it. That was so cool, just seeing the Mac and Coulson bots fly off, and Mac totally gets sort of shredded there with the... It was just, it was beautiful. Now, I did think that Coulson, LMD Coulson, had gotten destroyed in that too. And if you did, there's a reason for that. Because, of course, we saw Coulson flying from camera left to right as he flew through the air after the hit with the bulb. And then when Gemma came in with May's scene, the destroyed bot body flew in to the room from camera left to right. Because they're moving in the same direction, you're going to think of the same person and not just Mac. They've switched that, and it's kind of a poor camera technique, especially if you're going to do the reveal like 2 minutes later why that Coulson is still alive, or LMD Coulson's still alive. Why would you do that? Anyway, I I thought that was kind of a weak sauce moment to make us think that they both were destroyed when they weren't. But that's a small aside given a super cool move, a super cool effect, and definitely something I want to see again. And finally, we have Anton Ivanov and his transformation by the end of this episode. And I'm going to throw this out super quick right here. One of our viewers, Hyperborean Colonialism, you are awesome, did an amazing bit of research and has come up with the identity of who Anton is now becoming, and that would be the Red Guardian. The Red Guardian is a sort of Russian Captain America, which is appropriate because, of course, we have the Patriot, who is another Captain America form. But this particular Red Guardian, the sixth Red Guardian, by the name of Anton, ends up being an LMD. And in fact, as we found out tonight, his head is saved. His head is cut off and saved. He's then found out to being an LMD. So if we were trying to figure out who Anton is, Hyperborean Colonialism figured it out last week. He's got a great Reddit post. I will throw that down in the comment, in the description below, so you guys can go and check that out. Hyperborean, man, that is an awesome piece of research, and you were definitely spot on. So, the Red Guardian is going to be Anton's new role, Guardian the Framework, as we move into the final stretch of this season, 7-episode arc. And as Dan Burnell mentioned a couple of weeks ago, also in the comments section, it is going to be Agents of the Matrix. Engage the Speculatron! All right, so pull that up right there. So we got some amazing stuff that they're going to be going into the last arc here. There was actually a great interview. There's a great article by IGN, and that came out earlier today. Also, we'll put down in the description below, I'll put a link to that too, talking about, it's an interview with Jed Whedon and a bunch of the cast, talking about the potentials of what we are going to get to see in the last arc of this season. And they are going to be pulling out all the stops. We get an amazing little insight of where they're going, of course. Matrix rules. Go in there, real life world, but if you die in the Matrix, you die in real life. Same basic framework that we are running in. And we've got some complications. First off, Ward is alive in this. And that's Daisy's boyfriend. Oh, that is just beautiful. You've got Coulson, never having been a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, now a teacher, and a teacher that is apparently not very happy with Inhumans. Why we should fear them is what he writes on the board. So, Mac, we're assuming that his daughter is now alive, and he is enjoying a little happy life there. We have Fitz, apparently a captain of industry. That's sort of the feeling that I got out of that. But not with Gemma, because Gemma appears to be dead. Where is she going? What body is she going to be inhabiting? She said she had found both her and Daisy's body and being put in there. So, is she actually dead? Is she in some sort of, I don't know, like a witness protection and just played that she is dead? Or is she going to wake up underneath the ground in the coffin and is going to have to dig herself out? That'd be kind of creepy. Now, the one person that we didn't see in all of that was Mace. So we don't know where Mace is in relation to everything. But May is back at the Triskelion and working for, well, not S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore, but Hydra. Agents of Hydra was the quick flash they did for the upcoming episodes. Again, they're going to be pulling out all the stops. You have access to everything. Obviously, we got Ward back. Now, one thing is, of course, we want this show to go on. But the ratings haven't been the best, so there is curiosity of whether or not they're going to be renewed for a 5th season. I'm thinking yes. One, you've got the great Marvel connections that you can do. You've got Infinity War at the end of next year, which would be a great way to end it. That's also 5 seasons, which is plus 100 episodes, which is really what you want for syndication. So there's a lot of really good reasons of why they should continue this show. Because it's awesome. But with Inhumans coming in next season, if this ends up being the final season, this is a great way to do it because you can access inside of this, you're going to be able to access everything, and that's what they have said is Jed Whedon has put out. They're going to put out all the stops, anything that's accessible, anything that has come in from the past, you can get to. So lots of possibilities for storylines, but of course the main thing they're going to have to do is get everyone, get them all together, and not everyone's in with S.H.I.E.L.D. or Hydra as it is now. And again, you've got Coulson, who's a teacher, doesn't like Inhumans. May, who never met Coulson. They don't have that relationship because, again, Coulson never joined up with S.H.I.E.L.D. And May is also married to Andrew at this point. We don't know what Fitz is going on, where he is. Everybody has said something about removing their regrets. For Fitz, maybe it's his relationship with his father. That was mentioned earlier on, so that would be a natural connection to have and why he is in the position that where he is. Mac, it's obviously his daughter. That's who he wanted to hold on to. Quake, you can't really say that because she wasn't put in the normal way and programmed with all the change and stuff, so this is just whatever background that they had, which is why that she is with Ward there. So the first stop is obviously we got to get Gemma, and we got to find out where Gemma is. We got to get her and Quake together, and then they've got to recruit back the team. But that's going to be an uphill battle, especially again with Coulson, finding out if Quake is Inhuman, and how is that all going to work within the framework. And then will they be able to do all the cool Matrix stuff and sort of break some of the programming? That would be very cool. So a lot of possibilities coming up in this last arc. We have a break. We're going to come back in April. They didn't give a specific date, but I had heard that it's 6 weeks, so that should be the 11th. And then we could get 6 more Tuesdays there, and then do the last one as a double episode, and end on the 16th, I think it would be. So of May. So good possibilities right there. Really looking forward to it. This is supposed to be fan payoff time. So just keep sending in tweets and emails to ABC saying renew Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then just hold on because this is promising to be an amazing ride these last 7 episodes. Really looking forward to it. All right, so I think that's going to wrap things up for this week, for this arc. LMDs was amazing, continuing on amazing arcs this season. You know, having these shortened arcs really pushes the writers to have to write quickly, concisely, moving everything forward. Everything is really tight, and this show benefits from it. So please continue that into the future. It is awesome. And then when we come back 6 weeks, it's going to be Agents of Hydra in the Matrix. Agents of Hydra Matrix. I don't know how we're going to say it. I don't know how it's going to be, but we will have a new poster. I'm really looking forward to that. So, if you did enjoy this review, please hit that like button. Thoughts, ideas, comments, throw those down in the section below. What are you looking forward to seeing? What do you think they're going to pull out of their bag of tricks? Everything is on the table. I'm hearing rumors that we have Graviton back from all the way back in season 1. Just amazing stuff. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have Grant Ward back. That's going to be extra creepy levels on it. Just amazing. Really looking forward to that. So whatever ideas and thoughts you guys have, throw those down in the comments section below. Also, be sure to give Dan Burnell and Hyperborean Colonialism big thumbs up. Speculation paid off, and research also did. Really excited about the Red Guardian stuff. So give them a big thank you. Now, you can always catch me on Twitter and Instagram. That's what I'm talking about. That's at Darren Jakes right there. Now, we are still going to be doing our reviews of Black Sails and Walking Dead and Legion. If you haven't checked that out, you need to go to FX's site, pull down some of the past episodes. really amazing storytelling. But we're going to keep doing those reviews, and if you don't want to miss them, you can hit that subscribe button. It's right there, a little picture of my face, and you won't miss anything. And then I will throw up actually the latest review of Legion right here. So, I am D, and I am out of here. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.